This has been fun. I think that it's time to wrap this up, so if you give the microphone back to Mr. Cloud, we'll have 2 minutes to wrap this up, and thanks again.
Well, thank you so much for being here again, and of course, we all know many of you in this audience, and you've tested this a million times by now. But I want to return to my 3 themes of the opening. I mean, it's not just about policy, it's about human emotion. It's about human manners of living. They go back thousands and thousands of years, and really we have to deal with that issue. What is troubling us inside? Why is it troubling us inside? It's not this policy or that policy. It's the fact that our lives have been stolen from us. That's what's happened. Our lives have been stolen from us, as the lives of our forefathers had been stolen by the countries that they had left for the only possible remedy they could find to their problems, freedom. And that's really what we need to talk about, is freedom, the emotional deficits that come from systematic corruption, that come from the idea that you can get something for nothing, the culture of dependency. You see it in Greece, where their whole solution to the population is to throw a temper tantrum. That's what the culture of dependency does. It takes you back to 12-year-old status. And nobody wants to be a 12-year-old. I was one once. I didn't really like it much. And of course, we have to clean up Congress and the federal government and those that have destroyed our economy through corruption, favors, and bailouts. Those are the issues that I wanted to address, and I've been addressing since I entered politics. We have to deal with the root causes of our emotional lives. My name is Doug Cloud. Thanks for your time. I need your vote.
Thank you very much. I've enjoyed being here. It's amazing how much you learn every time you do one of these things. As I mentioned at the beginning, 2 reasons I'm running for Congress. The first is to get us the debt and the deficit in a pragmatic manner so we can get it going. The second is military. I served in harm's way twice, once in Iraq, once in Afghanistan. I believe I'm the 4th generation citizen soldier in my family. My great-grandfather served in World War II in Europe. My great-grandfather World War I in Europe. My grandfather, World War II in Europe. My father was in Korea. And I served in Iraq, Afghanistan. All went during war, returned, got out. Citizen soldiers is a model that's important. We have to have people in Congress who have served in harm's way. The next time Congress is confronted with sending our young men and young women into harm's way, it is critical we have people who have been there to ensure we don't do it precipitously. Not everybody, we have to have that voice. It's astounding to me that in Washington State, with all the veterans that we don't have any combat veterans.
My character from being kind of a fearful, afraid, getting bullied, to someone that stood up and I no longer got bullied. I fought back once and I never had to fight again. We have the ability to have peace through strength. We don't have to fight all the time to prove we're strong. We can be just as strong on local basis, fully funded here, with fully prepared to go to war military people, and do it a lot less costly. We can save a lot of money by not having to bribe countries to have our bases in their countries, by taking bases that I still don't understand why we have 500,000 men in Europe. I still don't understand why we have 30,000 troops in South Korea. These are first world nations that should be providing for their own defense. And when your taxpayers' dollars are sent overseas, it helps their economy, not our economy. Those dollars circulate there and help them, not us. And it helps them to take our American jobs overseas easier. We need to bring jobs back here. That means no longer subsidizing the national defense of other countries. We'll defend ourselves. I want our country to restore itself back to the vision of limited government, of peace and commerce. This is a recipe that made our country great. All we have to do is follow the blueprints of the Founding Fathers. We can get back to that, and we can be a great nation for the next 100 years. I'm Mike Geico, running for Congress, www.welikeGeico.org.
I started this discussion with talking about vision. I will end it about vision. But let me just state some very practical things regarding the core differences between the candidates that you have to vote for in this primary. Much has been said in the closing statements about military, yet you should know I am the only candidate that opposes cutting any funds from our military. These three guys support cutting funding from the military. That is critically important. Because in one sense they say they want to support our military, yet they want to hide behind saying we're going to support cutting efficiencies so that we can maybe have better procurement practices, yet they want to give that money back to some other department. When we're not currently funding our current veterans or giving them health care, or not providing the pay raises for our men and women that they desperately need. The truth is, one of the reasons we're forward deployed is a part of our national defense. It's easier to shoot ballistic missiles down on their way up than it is to try to shoot them down on their way down over the United States. And to say that you want to support the military yet cut funding from it, I find very disingenuous. I'm the only person in this race, the only person that will oppose any and all cuts to the military. Number one. Number two, keep in mind that we've had some candidates come up here that have said and articulated points that are against the core Republican beliefs of life and marriage. We've also had a candidate that in two separate questions says he's willing to support a balanced budget amendment, but at the same time he's willing to raise taxes on you. What kind of recipe is that for your future and future businesses? The truth is these are very important because in the coming days, much will be made about funding and how much money some candidate has or not. But bear this in mind. If you do not send a candidate back to the general that can not only rally the base, and you will not rally the base if you don't support true Republican principles like funding our military, and at the same time be able to attract independents, we will not win this race in the general. And the way that you win independence is with a vision and a plan. My name is Jesse Young. I'm the only person that has put forth a plan to grow jobs for the 21st century in this district. Thank you very much. I would love your support.